Hello, hello, hello! How are you guys doing this evening? I always start my videos over here like this. I don't know why. Anyway, this is my last video of the day that I am filming, and I don't know why I'm nervous about this video. I've been putting this video off. This should have been the first video that I did today because I've been hungry all day. But my husband is on his way home from Chicago. I think that he is like 30 minutes away right now. I have candles lit all over the house. The bed made real nice. The dogs have been fed. I have been like obsessed with this true crime podcast that I started last night, which is called Tom Brown's Body. Have you guys listened to this? Oh my God, it is so scary and so well done, and I'm like obsessed with it. I think I'm like 3 episodes in, getting ready to start the 4th episode. And then last night I watched the first episode of Only Bodies in the Building, and I loved it. So I'm gonna watch the 2nd and the 3rd episode tonight. So I'm real excited about tonight, just hanging out. My husband has been going all weekend. I'm sure that when he gets home, he's gonna be super, super tired. So I made the bedroom really nice for him. There are like spa candles lit up there right now, and I have all the special pillows out, and he can just come in, turn on the fan, and go to bed and relax for the rest of the night. So it's gonna be a fun little evening. Okay, I have been requested to do this video by somebody very special who watches my videos on a regular basis, and he watches all of my channels, and he comments on all of my videos. If he's not sometimes the first person that comments, he's usually the 2nd or the 3rd, and that is Troy. And Troy has requested this video for quite some time. So I mentioned this on my vlog numerous times, that when I was a kid, that my mom, I would come home from school, and my mom we would have a snack together and sit down there, and I would either have a snack and watch TV, or I would have a snack and we would talk, or I would have a snack and then I would lay down and take a nap for a little bit. But home was always my safe place because school was just pure hell for me. It was a battleground. And, you know, starting in 1st grade, and I've shared my bullying story in my vlog many times, that there was a situation. It was a beautiful fall day outside, I think in October, and I remember it being kind of chilly outside and cold. And it was one of the days that was one of my favorite days in school when for lunch, you would come and you wouldn't go through the line because already at your table, there would be bowls of tomato soup sitting there with peanut butter sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and a little milk, you know, and so I sat at the table with all of my friends, and one of the boys said to the other boys, "Don't drink the milk, it'll make you gay." And they were pointing to the side of the milk carton that said homogenous on it, like homo. And then I had the milk in my hand, and I was going to go drink it, and he said, "It's okay, Peter, if you drink it because you're already gay." And they all laughed and erupted into laughter. And that was the day that everything changed for me. And literally every day going forward was pure hell. I never knew what was going to happen. I never knew what center of what joke I was going to be made that day. And you know, it was really hard. It was really super difficult. And I think that my mom knew school was tough for me, but she didn't know all that, because I can tell you, when I was like 30, 31, I was in my 30s, early 30s, and my mom and I had a conversation about me being bullied. And she was like, "No, you weren't." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "I mean, why didn't you tell me?" I think it was just like so far from her to even understand. Now, my dad said he knew the whole time. And my dad actually came to the school, talked to counselors, talked to principals and stuff, and he dealt with it. I don't know why. I think my mom just really couldn't accept on some level that her kid was being made fun of. Like, I think it was too hard for her. And so when I told her, she said, this is when I'm like 31, 30, 32, somewhere in there, right? Early 30s. And she said, "Who were they? Tell me." Because I went to the same school all 12 years, okay? The same school district, because my parents thought it was important for me to go to school with the same people for all 12 years because they thought that way it would be safe and I would know people. You know, isn't that sad sentiment? It would have been better for me to have changed schools probably 12 times and to stay in the same school where I was just made fun of over and over and over by all the people, you know? And I would love to sit here and tell you that it was all the mean boys, but it was the girls too. The girls were really mean. You know, in the playground, even girls that I was friends with would say, "Why aren't you playing with the boys?" Like, you know, girls that I was friends with that I had nobody else to hang out with, you know? It wasn't until I got into high school and I had a group of 5 or 6 girls that were the nicest to me, but biggest badass girls, did not care, that stood up for me left and right, you know, and those girls got me through high school, and I'm here today because of them, and I am forever grateful for them. When I was in elementary school, I would come home from school, and my mom would know, my neighbor's dog is howling, do you hear? Welcome to the neighborhood. And I think sometimes my mom would know that I had had like a bad day at school, and so we would have special treats. And usually like the snacks after school were like usually kind of healthy. I mean, what we consider healthy today and what we considered healthy in like, you know, the 80s, which at this point, this would have been, you know, like 1980. I was 8 years old. So going forward, because I was born in 72. And what we considered healthy back then was like saltines and peanut butter, which I loved, or like cucumbers and vinegar, or like apple and salt. Those were like the things that I had, or my mom would have like fruit cut up with like caramel sauce or something like that, right? But every so often she did a special treat for me, and that was that she would make graham crackers with white frosting, and she would make little cookies out of it. And I would come home and she would have a plate, but then she would also leave this out because she knew that I like to do this as well. There was also this appetizer, like hors d'oeuvre, that my mom would make. And I can remember later, I was like, Mom, how do you make that hors d'oeuvre? I want to do it and make it for people. And she was like, oh, Peter, that is so quick. You just whip that. That's when, she's like, that's when you know people are coming over and you haven't planned anything. And it was, you took white bread and you cut the things off, and then you cut it into threes, and then you took like, I think it was cream of mushroom cream of mushroom soup, and then you spread it over the white bread, and then you took bacon and you laid a thing of bacon down. Was it around it? Or I can't remember, but then you rolled it and put a toothpick in it, and you put it in the oven on like 425 for like 5 minutes or something. Oh God, I love those. They were so good. Dip them in a little mustard or horseradish sauce. Delicious. So on days that I think my mom knew I had had harder days than others, I don't know how she knew, she would say, let's have some graham cracker and frosting cookies. And so what you do is, oh, I broke it already. I have not had one of these, you guys. I mean, it has literally probably been 20 some years. I have not had one of these little cookies. So, since I broke this one off, I'll show you, you can do little smaller cookies like this. Or you can do the bigger ones, and we're gonna do the bigger ones. So here's the frosting. I just got the vanilla Pillsbury. Oh, so good. You literally just take it and you, I mean, you guys, there's nothing deep to this. You just put it on there. Isn't it funny how something so simple has like such a lasting memory for me though? And then there's your little graham cracker cookie. And so I would come home and my mom would have a plate full of them. But then she would also leave this out because she knew that I liked to make them too. And we would always have them with milk. I guess I say milk funny. A couple people have commented that I say milk like M-E-L-K. I think I do. It's kind of an Indiana thing. But anyway. So good. Tastes exactly how I remember it being. When I was standing in the store buying this stuff, I was like, I don't even remember really how these taste. You know, I wonder sometimes if going back all the way there is where like my emotional eating started. And maybe, but to this day, right or wrong, healthy, unhealthy, I love to celebrate with food. I love to grieve with food. Mostly I just love a good meal. But isn't it funny? Isn't it funny, the memories that we have with food? I'm like, my head is just being like flooded with all of these memories that I have now. Like my mom's chili in the fall, and her chicken a la king that I used to love, and chicken curry was my favorite meal ever growing up. Clean up as you go. Something else I learned from my mom. her raw apple muffins. Just her regular muffins out of the tin with butter and grape jelly. On. So, do you guys have memories with food? I'm sure you do. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.